Okay, so let's go through this. Here I will change to a small screen, not full screen. Here you can see the description. So we have to learn how to use map and lambda function basically in this exercise. So here it is given. Let's learn some new Python concept. You have to generate a list of first n Fibonacci numbers. Okay, what is Fibonacci numbers? You can go in Google and search Fibonacci. That's some sort of series you can see here, which follows this pattern. Okay, this fn is equal to fn minus 1 plus fn minus 2. So let's say you want to calculate, here n is greater than 1. So if you will keep f2 n equal to 2, then this will be f1 and this will be f0. Okay, and you defined usually f0 and f1 with 0 and 1. So if you'll plug this value, you will get a series like this. So this is your f0 and this is your f1, and then it goes on. So it's like adding these two numbers, you will get this, then adding these two numbers, you will get this, then adding these two numbers, you will get this. So that likewise it goes on, right? And you will get a structure like this. So we don't go into the details, you can see and learn about this. So we have to generate a list of first n Fibonacci numbers, first n. Okay, like this, first n. Let's say if n, capital N value is 5, then these will be the list of Fibonacci numbers. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. So 0 being the first number, you have to keep the 0. So 0 is there, and then apply the map function and lambda expression to cube each Fibonacci number and print the list. Okay, so we have to apply these functions to calculate the cube of each Fibonacci number. Okay, cube of each of them you have to calculate, and then you have to print in a list form. Okay, so simple it is. Here you can see the concept. If you are not aware of map and lambda function, here you can see first map function is applies a function to every member of an iterable and return the result. Okay, so mapping is something called is a function for each iterable, every member of an iterable, and results the result. It means that it applies a function. Okay, it itself is a function and it is applying a function to every member of iterable. Okay, it takes two parameters. First the function that is to be applied, and secondly the iterables. Okay, here it is an example. Let's say you are given a list of names and you have to print a list that contains the length of each name. Okay, so that's the task. Let's say, so you have to do like this. So here you can see mapping length comma, these are the iterables. Okay, so length is the function is applied to each of them, this guy and this guy. That's how map works. Okay, this whole thing works. So this length of this guy is 4, 3 and 3. How many iterables are there? How many word alphabets are there? That's what it is counting, length is doing. So 4 3 3, and then you have applied list. So it is converted into list form and it has been printed like this. Okay, so that's how it is working. Similarly, if you will see lambda is a single expression function, often used as an inline function. In simple word, it is a function that has only one line in its body. Okay, it has only one line. It proves very handy in functional and GUI programming. So that's the use of it. So this is about mapping and this is about lambda. So here you can see sum a b c. So this is lambda and this is the function. You can see here c is represented as a plus b plus c. Okay, so sum 1 2 3, if you will call, this is being stored as a sum, right? So if you will call sum and you give the parameters 1 2 3, it will take 1 2 3, add them and shows the result. Okay, so it's a one line function. So both of them we have to use it. Let's see. Okay, one note statement is there. Lambda function cannot use the return statement. Okay, and can only have a single expression. Unlike def, which is define, which creates a function and assigned it a name, lambda creates a function and returns the function itself. Lambda can be used inside list or dictionaries. Okay, so it's different than function what you use. Def, with the def you define functions, right? Some small functions. There you return some value after a whole function is being processed, but here lambda automatically does that. Okay, cannot use the return statement, you can see. So that's about lambda and map. Now let's see what's our task. What was our task? Yeah, this is our task. We have to print the cube of each of them. So one line of input will be n, integer n. It has to be between 0 and 15, including both the values, and we have to output the result in a list form, single line containing the cubes of first n Fibonacci numbers. So let's say capital L value is 5, then it is a list form. 0 cube is 0, 1 cube is 1, 1 cube is 1, 2 cube is 8, 3 cube is 27. That's how it is being printed. You can see here first 5 Fibonacci numbers are 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, then their cubes are this. So that's the task we have to follow. And what are we given with? We are given with something called this lambda function, which we have to finish it. Lambda function, you can see x, so cube, but here also we have to do the Fibonacci function, we have to finish, and inside this it has been given the value of n has been taken, capital N, and it is being passed to Fibonacci function. So Fibonacci series will be calculated. Then this is the mapping function. You can see cube is being applied to each of the element of Fibonacci numbers. So it will calculate the cube, it will go here, it will calculate the cube, and then comes back here, list form, and then print. Okay, so that's the flow of this program. What we have to do is finish this function as well as this function. Okay, so first let's do the Fibonacci thing. So we have to basically implement this thing, right? So it is keep on doing the same stuff, this expression, right? So you can think of a for loop, right? So because we have to do the same stuff again and again, that's why for loop can be used. And plus we have to include the 0 number as well. So when the value of n will be 0, that case also we have to think, right? So let's do that. Let's first define these two guys, f0 and f1. Let me do in this fashion. Change theme dark so that you will see better, right? So I'll remove, I have to return it the list of Fibonacci numbers. So the value of n will be taken, I am assuming n comes here, and then I am defining f0 is equal to 0 and f1. This is what we need first of all to create a Fibonacci number. Now the value of, depending upon the value of n, we have to provide the list, right? Fibonacci numbers. So what I'll do, I'll break into 3 cases. So when n is equal to 0, when n equal to 1, and when n is between greater than 1. Okay, so 2 cases will be there. First I'll write the constraint if n is greater than no, not greater than, less than 0, and n is greater than 15, then you have to write some warning message, right? So let's print, I'll do like this, print some warning message. The value of n should be, well, let me write in capital, value of n, and I'll write in a single quote, n is what should I write? A value of n should be between 1 to 15, no, 0 to 15, right? Inclusive, 0 to 15 inclusive. Inclusive means let me zoom out. Yeah, inclusive means including both 0 and 15. Okay, in between the values also, plus 0 as well as 15, both we have to include. Now if the value, else I'll write else if the value is between 0 and 15. Now what we will do, we'll else if while do, okay, else if n, what's the spelling of else if, elif or something, elif n is equal to 0 case, we have to just pass the empty list, right? It should not be giving anything. So what I'll do is I'll define something called list to save the Fibonacci numbers, and I'll return list as it is, return empty list, return ls, because it will not carry anything. Okay. Now let me write this. Now if the value of n, if the value of n will be equal to 1, then I'll return only the first element, like f0. Okay, so let me append it, ls dot append f0, right? So only f0 will be there if the value of n is equal to 1. Return ls, right? Say yes. Now elif, third case here I'll write when n is none of them, means is between 0 and 15. So I'll write n is greater than 1. Why I am doing this? Because you have to return an empty list in this case, and you have to return only the f0 value in n equal to 1 case. From n equal to greater than 1 case, we will be using a for loop. Okay, that's why I did. So exceptional cases I removed above, and now I'll be using the for loop. So first I'll add those things, ls dot append, what those things, f0 and f1, because n is greater than 1 means f0 will be there as well as f1 will also be there. Okay, copy, paste f1. Maybe you will come up with better way, but that's what I did. Okay, so for I in range 0 to n minus 1, I'll do n minus 2. Why n minus 2 I am doing it? Because 2 already I have added here, two numbers. Now I'll be doing the next other numbers. So I'll use a temporary variable which will create a addition function, this addition. So that is something f0 plus f1, right? f0 plus f1, right? I'm storing it into temporary variable, then I'll append it to append the temp, whatever the result came, and then I'll switch the variable values. So f1 value will be given to f0 equal to f1, and f0's value I think f1 value will be given to f0 and f1's value will be temporary. Yeah, now f1 will have temp value, right? So I'm just giving the previous values to the current values to previous one. So what is happening here, see, when the value of n is greater than 1, f0 will be appended, f1 will be appended, which are these two guys, f0 and f1. Okay, we have defined here, you can see. When now when it goes inside the for loop, what it will do, it will calculate the temp variable. Temp will be this plus this, which is 1. So temp will store this guy, and then it has appended to our list, and then what it does is it gives the f1 value, this f1 value to f0, and this temp value to f1. Okay, so basically now we have these two guys. Okay, in the next iteration, this will be f1. Okay, so next iteration it will come in for loop, and then again it will do the calculation f0 plus f1, which is these two. It will calculate 2. Now temp will have 2 value 2, and this will be appended here, and then the same thing happens. Now these two guys will become f0 and f1. Okay, so it keeps on doing it. And why this n minus 2? Because already we have added the two numbers in the list. That's why we are doing it. Okay, once all the values will be calculated, we'll return the list. Return the list. Okay, so all the cases we have covered. So this is about Fibonacci series. Now what do we want is cubing we have to apply. Cubing we have to do it here, complete the lambda. So we just have to whatever the x is coming, we'll do the 3 times of it, right? Dot x. So this is calculating the cube, right? Power star into star means it's like if x value is 2, then 2 cross 2 cross 2, 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8, like that. So what it is doing, cube, it is taking each element in Fibonacci series, it is doing the cube and returning it in list form and printing it. Okay, so let's run the code. What happened? Why it is keeping on processing? Oops, did something happened? For loop ls, correct, it is. Why it is processing? Still it is processing. I think I've written it correctly. Print value of n should be between 0 inclusive less than greater than 0. Yeah, done. So you can see here it has generated, okay, the value of n was 5 and our output is 0 1 1 8 2 7 and 0 1 1 was required. Okay, we can submit it. All the test cases are passed and congratulations. Okay, let me show you some other cases as well. Control A, C. Let me write in some Python online IDE. Let me write here so that you can see all the cases. Control V. Okay, so you can see all the everything. Now let me run it. You can see actually all the cases. It is taking too much time. Def is there. Let me write like this. It's not running here. Let me do it in some other ID. Control V. Let me run it. What's the problem? Why it is not running? And seems correct to me. ls. Okay, let me take only this thing. Let me cut this. Timeout it is saying. Why it's not working here? Online editor. Control A C V. It is going for timeout. Okay, let me remove this. Python 3. Else if if I think I've done a mistake. Oopsie. Here it should come else. Why it's still working, but I think maybe there is a glitch. Should be like this, tab and this else. This is the correct way. And here I'll write if. This is the correct way. That's why it is not working. Still it is passing. Okay. Yeah, now it's done. Okay, now I got the problem. Control A C. Control A V. Oops, Control A C. Array papa. Let me use some other ID. Now it will work. If else was wrong. Please. It should be working. Okay, let me stop. Okay, let me calculate. Arey baba, here should I run? This is better, it seems. raw input. Trace back E of when writing a line. It's correct, no? EOF. Array. Let me use it here. Okay, let me do something. This looks better. I'll try here. Same error it is showing. Let me convert this to. Let me give it the value 5. Okay. Yeah, now it is working. You can see. So what I'll do here is we have seen this 5, right? Let me print these guys as well. Print every time list. Print ls, so that you will see how it is working. You can see these guys were already added, then this guy was appended. In the next loop these 3 were already there, this guy was added, then in the next loop these 3 were already there, and total 5 it became, right? And then after that cube has been applied by this. So each of the values will be having their cubes. So 1 cube, 0 cube, 1 cube here, 2 cube, 3 cube. You can see between these two, right? If I'll put n is equal to 0, what will happen? Nothing, empty list, which is this guy, right? If I'll put n equal to 1, we will need only 0, right, in Fibonacci series. So you can see 0 is coming, which is appended by this guy. Okay, n equal to 1 means f0 will be added, f0 is 0, and then the list has been returned, right? And 0 cube is 0 only, you know that. If I'll put n equal to 2, you can check 0 and 1 will be there. Okay, only these two guys has been added, and this for loop has not been executed because it was n value was 2, 2 minus 2 is 0, 0 it will not be not be executed. Okay, and the list has been returned. Similarly for 3, if you will see, you can see 0, 1, 1, right? So this is what it is. If I'll put n equal to less than 0, let me keep -1 integer value. Oh no, we can't put negative value because argument 2 to map must support iteration. Okay, so here it should iterate, right? So let me put 0.1. Integer value is not less than 0, there is nothing, right? If I'll put 16, ooh, I should not calculate actually. If n is 16, it should print this, right? 16, 17. If I and n is and or it should be right. Now it should work. Support iteration, map, cube. The value of n should be, this is what it is written here. The value of n should be between 0 and 1, but this error is coming because of the cube. Argument 2 to map must support iteration because it is showing error, right? That's why it is coming out. If I'll put -1, let me write -1. Still it is showing this, right? So we are getting the error. Let me write 4. So 4 is generated. Let me write 15. 15 terms are there, these many, right? So these many are there, and this is their cubes, right? So if I'll go 17, so yeah, it is writing. But let's say we don't want this thing, right? We don't want this thing. So what we will do here is we'll stop the process, stop the code, right? So let me search for it. Stop execution in Python. What we can write? We can write this: import system v system exit, not error. I won't write error, just it will exit after printing. Okay, and this guy will write library, will keep in the top. Right, now let's execute it. This is what it is. Okay, so this looks much more cleaner. So as soon as n value is out of range, it will print this thing and it will stop the execution. Okay, it will not go further. It will not do anything. So let me check minus for 0 again. We'll check. Then we have no list. For 1 we will check. We have 0 only. And for 2, so it is giving. And let's for 15. For 15, if I'll check, still working. If I'll do 16, out of range, you can see. If I'll put 0.1, actually I should write integer values, right? Less than 0 or -1, only integer value we want, right? -1 we can write. Yes. Okay, -2, same thing. Okay, so integer values only, and this thing will be printed. Shall I write or integer, not an integer? Let me check. Integer, check whether the variable is integer or not. Okay, that's how you are searching, means you can see how I am proceeding. Unless no, is there any better way? Is int? No, this is just a function. Int try x is instant blah blah blah. No, a better way is instant true int. Can we write this? Or like this here, or is instant, this guy is n, is integer. No, it's not an integer, we have to check, right? Type variable is int, is not equal to, don't type. How we can check whether is digit? Or we can write in this fashion as well, or type of n is not equal to int, like this, then it will execute. Let me write minus 0.2. Now it's working. Okay, so it is also what I have done is I have taken the type of n, and if it is not integer, then it will also print the same thing. Inclusive should be between 0 inclusive and integer. Okay, now let me execute. See, okay, so it is also working for not integer type of values. So let me write 2 now. Should work properly. So that's the better code, clean code. So this control is C. I'll take this control A V. Okay, this looks much, oops, control A C, control A V. That is not why it is not pasting. Oops. Okay, let me only take the function. It is not taking. Let me copy this whole thing. Control C. It's much better code. Control V. Right, now let's run it. Oops, int we have not taken. Sorry, import. Control V. Oh, we are printing everything. Remove this guy. Now let's run it. Boom, done. All the test cases are passed. I don't know why it worked previously then. So here you can see for all the cases it will write the between integer, and it should be inclusive, and it will go out, else it will calculate the Fibonacci, then come back, and map will calculate the cube of it. You can see in this fashion, and it will list it. Okay, so if we'll submit, I've already submitted it. So this was a really good thing, something new we have learned. We have learned how to make Fibonacci numbers, then we have learned the use of a map function as well as lambda function. Okay, so map function will apply a function which is here cube to all the elements of this guy Fibonacci series. Okay, and lambda, what it will do, lambda will itself is a function which will apply some operation in one line, okay, to the elements. So that is what we have learned, and Fibonacci series you might have already been seeing that. So this was the exercise, really nice exercise, hope you like it, and let's go to the next question.